Roxane. He came home. You like scary movies?
Welcome back to Corn on the Macabre, the podcast, videocast that came home. And today we have exciting news. We have our first sponsor. Woo! Hell yeah. So this is exciting. So today's episode is brought to you by Arkham Games. And it's a hub in Ankeny, Iowa. It's the oldest game store in town. And they have everything from Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, any card games that you're into, board games. They have game rooms to sit down and play in. They run events. And it's called Arkham Games. Not as in Batman, but as in Lovecraftian mythos. So it's pretty excellent. So for all your gaming needs, check out Arkham Games.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So deep dive.
Deep dive.
What are we doing today?
I think you wanted to do
Me?
a little film called 8 for Silver.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
But it's been
wonder-
retitled.
Yeah. I wonder if people don't
Yeah.
know it by that name.
Yeah, people don't know it by that name. So they would know it by The Cursed, I'm sure.
The
Because
Cursed.
That's yes. Because that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's
I
what it
believe
was called.
Marketing wise, I think they liked it better, something to that nature.
I kind of like
I
it.
don't
I liked 8 for Silver because
I did too.
I think it was like 2018 that this movie 8 for Silver was like doing the rounds at like Cannes Film Festival and Sundance or whatever, and it was getting a lot of traction. I'm like, whoa,
Yes.
what is this werewolf movie? And I saw a few stills from the film, and I'm like, werewolf movie, but what's with the scarecrows?
Right. Yeah.
So I was intrigued from the get-go.
Yeah.
So I followed everything about this movie, and then when it came out, I was opening night in the theater in Cincinnati, Ohio, pretty much by myself. I think there were 3 other people in the theater.
Nice.
And it was like my own private viewing, and I was blown away. I mean,
Yes.
I was blown away by the story, for one. It was so freaking solid.
Yeah, God, the story's just fantastic. Way more than you would expect from this type of genre film.
Because I mean, it took place in the 19th century in France, and it's kind of a mystery, and there's supernatural elements, and a village and a pathologist coming to town to investigate and maybe exorcise some of his own demons. But this pathologist, he brings the story of the Beast of Gévaudan with him. I'm like, that's kind of cool,
right?
That they would, but wrong time period. But it's kind of cool that they threw that in. So,
yeah, time period was a little off, unless the main guy in the movie's like 100 and some years old.
But
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But folklore is the main thing that comes to mind. This movie is just spewing and has so much folklore interwoven into it from multiple story angles.
Yes.
You've got this werewolf mythos, you've got this strange gypsy mythos going around, and almost this witchcrafty kind of druidic kind of feel to it. Yeah, it's just all of it. It on paper, I would assume this was a little bit of a hard sell, because how does this all come out? Well, we're here to tell you it came out freaking great. Is what it did.
It did. And I don't want to give too much away if you haven't seen the film. The one thing that I'll say is the werewolves are they're a lot different in this
Yes.
than any other movies. They're more like demons, and
Yeah.
some people that really turns some people off of the film, which I don't. It shouldn't, because
No.
if you go into it knowing that, okay, it's not your traditional werewolf looking creature, it's more demonic, then you're fine, because you expect that. And going into this, I had heard some things like, it's not your traditional werewolf. They have no hair. I'm like,
Yeah.
and so I was put off. I was
What?
put off. I was put off early, but when I saw the film, I'm like, okay, that it didn't bother me. I mean,
Yeah, it didn't. So I heard about it when it was being called Eight for Silver and making the rounds at screenings and stuff and film festivals, but I never got like inside what the story was at all, really. And at the time, I was like, Eight for Silver, like I was like, maybe werewolf type thing, but what's all this? The little snippets, like you said, there's this scarecrow shit involved, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, whatever. And then I kind of lost track of it, and I assume that's just because the name change getting switched
right,
up. And
right,
so one day, all of a sudden, there's a preview for big theater release of The Curse, and it took me a minute to realize what had happened there, and I was like, oh shit. So I went to the theater, and I actually went with a buddy of mine, and there was not very many people in the theater with us either. But
yeah,
I had no inkling as to exactly what was going on. So watching the film and getting a little bit into it, and then hearing him tell the tale of the Beast of Jevadon, I was like, oh, like, all right, well, that's hugely associated with werewolf mythos. So is that where we're going? Um, but it threw me off enough. And I was like, I'm not quite sure what's going on. And as you said, you don't want to give too much away. So the initial part of this video, we'll talk, try to do non-spoilerly, but the further we get into it, you should probably make it a point to go watch the movie yourself, and then come back and
yes,
check
for
out
sure.
the rest of the video, because we're doing a deep dive, because we want to dive so deep into it.
Yeah. So one of the things that really attracted me to this film was the gypsy storyline, and
Yes.
because that's where the curse comes from, and there's so much background there, and,
Oh,
and
it's
in
just,
the short amount of time that the gypsies are on the screen,
yeah,
yeah, it's
literally.
and knowing what the silver is and why it's there, that whole background, and and how the curse actually works is just like, I was blown away. I'm like, how many werewolf scripts have I written that I never had this idea ever?
Right.
And then I see this movie and I'm like, holy shit, it was right there all the time. If I had tapped into that, yeah, and yeah,
Yeah,
so,
it's amazing. It's amazing how much folklore and backstory is stuffed into very little pieces throughout the
mhm,
movie, that everything just is, it's one huge mesh of great ideas coming
yeah,
together to tell you a rather contained story as
yeah,
the movie
yeah,
goes. God, I love it so much.
yeah. And I mean, the one thing I think we can tell is why the gypsies have cursed this village, and
Yes.
and it's because the gypsies come back to their land. They own
Yep.
this land. It's theirs. They come back, and the people and the villagers, the elders of the village say, well, they have a
It's
claim
ours.
to the land, but we're going to force them off the land, and if they don't
Yep.
leave, we're going to kill them.
We will.
So naturally, you know what happens. So, but but that that the scene where I mean, the gypsies know what's about to happen, so they prepare the curse, and and it's amazing, like I said earlier. But when they ride in with these mercenaries, basically assassins, to throw them off the land, if they don't go, they're going to kill them, and that's what they do.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and they save the gypsy crone, I guess you could call her, and her, it's her son, right? That, or is it her husband? I
I guess
don't.
there's some close relation, whether it
Yeah,
be son, husband, or like right hand kind of guy.
yeah.
They
But
never go too much into it, but they save them too for the
yeah,
last. Yeah.
but yeah, they make an example out of him.
Oh,
And what they do to him is just, it's awful.
it's
It's
grotesque
awful.
for
It
sure.
is very grotesque, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm
There's lots of
I don't
nightmare
want to.
fuel
Yes,
before the creatures
yes,
even show up.
yes,
Honestly,
yes,
and I think
yes.
that's what makes it so great. Like you're already invested in story and characters before the
Yes,
villain, the antagonist even shows up per
yeah,
se. And so
yeah.
I think that's a pretty unique thing to come across, and a very brilliant thing to write and direct.
Oh yeah,
It was written and directed by
yes.
Sean Ellis. This was, I don't know, it's third maybe uh, bigger
I
production film. I have
I think
not
so. Yeah,
seen any of his previous films, so I haven't seen any of his other work. But after The Curse, I definitely want to revisit anything he's done, and will for
yeah.
sure see anything he does going
and
forward, because
and really the only actress going into this that I knew was Kelly Reilly
yeah,
from I'm drawing a blank, from Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
plays.
everybody's going to know her by now.
Yeah, she plays Beth Dutton, and
Yes.
and she doesn't have a lot of dialogue in this movie, but
No.
she really makes great use of her screen time. I mean,
You could say that.
yeah. So
We're
anyway,
not saying watch the movie for side boob, but we're saying
watch the movie
enjoy it.
for side. Yes. We are. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like Kelly Reilly as an actress.
I do too.
I think she's great, and like I said, she doesn't have a lot of dialogue in this film.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a lot to do with, but what she does do is she's great. So
Yeah, she's well done. She's a
she's
really
well
good
done.
actress.
Yeah, she's well done. Yes.
She is able to act without a lot of dialogue. She's a very physical actress. You can see in her facial reactions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tone fluctuation when she's got
she
minimal lines. She's just
and she can convey a lot of emotion.
yes,
with
absolutely.
a raised eyebrow, basically. So
yeah, and she's been in a lot of other stuff before Yellowstone. I think she got super popular off of Yellowstone. But going back to other stuff, I was like, oh, I didn't know she was in that. Like, she was in both of the Sherlock Holmes movies, the Robert Downey Jr. ones, and
she was
a couple of other main things. So yeah, hats off to her. She's ends up being more of an important character as the story progresses, which is another thing I really enjoy a lot about filmmaking, especially in horror, when they do either a switch up as to who the heroine or hero is, and it kind of blindsides you out of nowhere, or if they slightly just kind of interweave them in as the story's going on. Like in the original Alien, you're kind of thinking that you have no idea starting off that Ripley's going to be the hero of the movie.
I mean, you think Dallas, Tom Skerritt, is going to be the hero.
Yeah.
And
then he gets taken out halfway through. And it's like,
oh, wow, okay.
But either doing that or interjecting a character early on and watching the progression of that character become an even more important part of the story is something I really enjoy, and something that probably should be used a little bit more, because I think it's a really fresh approach to characters in movies.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
let's see, Kelly Reilly, the other bigger, well-known name you'd know from the film is Boyd Holbrook. He plays the main male lead. Narcos. I think that was the first time I really noticed him, and he was really good in Narcos. And then since then, he was in Logan, the Wolverine movie.
Right.
Played a bad guy in that. He was in The Predator, which we've mentioned that film before in the past. Boyd is a higher point of that movie. Did another Netflix one, Into the Shadow Moon, which is kind of it's a interesting dark noir kind of movie. Rides that line of maybe getting put into a horror category. And he was in. Did you watch the Salmon Show on Netflix?
No.
So that's really good. You should check that out. He plays a role in that. He plays the Corinthian, who is like a sadistic serial killing demigod kind of character.
Interesting.
It was from a set of comic books and graphic novels that Neil Gaiman did, and they made the Corinthian a little bit bigger part of the story in the show, and he's really excellent. Okay.
Then let's talk about Alistair Petrie a little bit.
Yes.
He's considered the poor man's, or Fraser Crane, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not. The poor man's Fraser Crane. This guy can act. I mean, so can Kelsey Grammer, but
of course,
yes. So I would love to see him play brothers in something at some point in time.
That would be perfect. Yeah. I don't think by name a lot of people are going to pick him out, but I think once they see his face in the movie, they're going to be like, that's another one of those actors. Be like, I know that guy. I've seen him.
That guy.
He's been in stuff.
Yeah, he's been in stuff. I couldn't tell you what, but I've seen him in stuff.
I want to know how the hell his character nabbed Kelly Reilly in The Cursed. That's a mystery in itself.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'd love to nab. Wait, did I?
What?
Was I just?
You'd love to take care of her.
Yes.
Financially support.
Yes, and cook dinner for her.
There you go. Yeah. Actually, funny thing, their relationship plays a little bit of a key in the movie. It's not really hit upon heavily, but there's enough to know that this relationship, this situation is not pleasant, maybe on either end. You get the feeling.
I mean,
that it was
really the first time you see her character. She's taking a bath, and he walks in, looks at her. They don't say one word to each other. She looks at him and there's no love lost there.
Nope.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And she's topless.
Yeah.
He didn't even raise an eyebrow.
Right.
He's more worried about.
I did. I'm in the theater and I'm like,
I covered my eyes.
I raised.
It's too much for me. I can't watch this.
That's
things.
See,
things were raised.
Yes. The one eyebrow is called the people's eyebrow.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh my god!
But yeah.
Oh my god! Let's get back on track.
Oh yeah. I mean, we weren't completely off track. Let's be honest.
No, we weren't.
But yeah. So, a tenuous, stressful marriage going on there, and they have 2 children, who are also rather important.
Yes,
important.
Very, very
story.
Important.
Yeah. So I think we're at a point now where I think we both want to dive a little bit deeper into this. So this is where we would tell you, stop,
Yeah, stop.
Spoiler
Just-
alert!
Yeah.
Go watch
So
the movie.
yeah, go watch the
You'll
movie.
thank us. Trust me.
Yes,
And then you can
will.
watch
You will.
the rest of this so you can see how we discuss all the secret things.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
dive deep, and we'll figure out this curse. So
Yeah.
if
We gotta figure it out.
if this shit starts happening to you in real life, you'll
Don't
know.
call us.
Yeah, don't call us.
I don't want
Call
anything to do with
call
it.
call Ghostbusters or something.
Yeah, call somebody. I'm all about like normal werewolf problems, but
yeah.
when we start doing this crazy ass shit, nope.
Oh God.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah. This.
Mm-mm.
I mean, this takes getting bit by a werewolf to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Of existence.
Yeah.
Whole
nother-
Oh my God.
Whole nother. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking some body horror here. I mean,
Yes, we do.
so-
Man, we do have. There is a scene, and we'll talk about it for sure. That is straight up like John Carpenter and
yeah.
Cronenberg got together and was like, "Let's make a scene."
Yeah, let's
This
do a
is what you
scene
get.
here. Yeah. So,
And it's really horrifying.
Speaking of Carpenter, I watched Siskel and Ebert. You can cut this out. I watched Siskel and Ebert do their review of The Thing back when it. Gene Siskel liked the movie.
Really?
He loved the whole Antarctica and you know, and the nobody trusts anybody anymore, and like who could be the thing. He loved that mystery there and everything. He didn't like all of the body horror, so he's like, I'm conflicted on this, but I liked it, you know. And I say you should go watch it, but there's a lot of body horror in it that will probably turn your stomach, make you vomit, and whatever. So I'm like, but Roger Ebert hated it.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he's very. I don't know why he's so popular. I mean, how did they become the duo to listen to for? Maybe they just got in the market sooner before anybody else. Or?
I think it's because they started arguing about movies.
Yeah.
And that's what people liked about it, the dichotomy that they had. I mean, because when you get two people together that agree on everything, it's kind of boring.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh.
So that's why I tell you all the time, I have to disagree with you on that. So
yeah, I like when you disagree with me because
you know, I have a different perspective or a different outlook on it than you do, and yeah, we're just
the main reason that it's good is because our reason is, well, I don't like it.
Yeah,
that's the worst
I don't like it.
argument
I don't
ever.
like it. Yeah,
I want to know why.
Yeah, and if you disagree with me, if I disagree with you, there's a reason behind why, you know.
Yep.
Like, but okay, back to the movie.
Back to the movies.
Back to the podcast, you goddamn bastards.
Yeah. Go talk about the movie.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, the Cursed, the spoiler heavy portion of the review.
Into the nuts and bolts of the movie.
And that's right. Deep nuts, bolts, monsters. Yay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is not your father's werewolf movie.
So yeah, the Cursed. So basically, in a nutshell, it's a story about a curse that was put on some people. So
put on the village and the village elders for murdering gypsies.
Yeah, these evil white folk come in and start taking land that's not theirs.
That's right. That's right.
And so when the gypsies come back through wanting their land back, which they actually do have a claim to, as they mentioned in the movie.
Yes.
All the rich old fat white guys are like, well, we can't have that. We
Yeah,
gotta
we
do something
we
about
just don't like them because they're gypsies.
Yeah. What else? There's there's a slang term they use. I don't remember what it was.
I can't
I don't
remember what
know.
it was, but
I don't know.
you know,
We might be canceled if we say it anyway. So I don't know. Anyway,
the only thing I know about gypsies is they'll blacktop your driveway. A week later, your driveway okay then.
that's right. Also, they tend to bring werewolf curses. So
They kind of do. They kind of do.
either way,
Yes.
they're fucked.
Yeah.
You can't get out of your driveway, and a
You're
werewolf is in the house.
fucked. I don't know. We're like the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
No,
The
not even
horror
close.
genre version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they decide, instead of, doing the cordial thing, like being, hey, let's find a solution. They're like,
Yeah.
nope, hire mercenaries, tell them to leave, and if they don't, kill them.
That's right.
Which is exactly what happens. Yeah. And let's be honest, the mercs, they don't have much of a conversation. I think that they're mercenaries for a reason. They got paid and they want to kill some people. Mm-hmm. So then the gypsies.
Then dig a deep hole and put them all in there.
Yeah, right. About that scene when they all ride down there, and you see him come up, and then it's the big pan out scene of the whole gypsy.
Big wide shot.
I love that wide shot. I love shots where you see. I wouldn't want to watch a whole movie that way by any means, but it's really neat to see everything interacting, coming together. Like you'd have to watch that scene 15 different times to like pay attention to each little thing in there in that shot. And it's also
it's all orchestrated very well.
Makes it brutal, even though
it does.
You're not seeing anything up front and in your face. It's not. You can't see blood splurting or people's heads being blown off or what the hell's going on. But just to see it all happen and there's not a lot of music in there either. The way they did that, I love that scene. It's just a really excellent stylistic choice.
I love
it.
In the theater, I'm watching this, and that scene made me think of Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Remember when the deputy, Walter Goggins, is shot and killed? Same thing. Wide shot, very long take. You know he's going to die. You don't know when. And and I like that because there's no need to go into all of the nasty, gory details.
Right.
It makes more of an impact to watch it all play out. In a wide shot.
If you don't know much about what's going on, a second viewing is almost really needed for you to kind of wrap your whole head around everything. It's one of those movies. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I think it was my dad or something. But I was just like, it's one of those few movies that I love it more every single time I watch it. It's like, some movies eventually just, it's in I love it status, but it's there and it's done. But it's just like every time I watch The Curse, I'm super fucking pumped about it. I just want to. It has that effect on me.
It's such a unique film, kind of like The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Oh yes.
It's kind of like that. It's its own thing. It's different. It takes a genre of film, werewolf film, and turns it sideways.
Turns it on its head. Yep.
Yeah.
Our whole thing is, bringing horror to a bigger audience, and obviously we started off with things that everybody knows about. Halloween, we did Trick or Treat, which maybe was new for some people. Definitely one that you should watch every Halloween because it's just fun. And then we did The Exorcist. Everybody knows about The Exorcist. And now we're doing Cursed, which had a wide release, but wasn't
I don't think it was that
incredibly
popular.
well known. it was
And
well received. Like it
yes,
got
yes.
great reviews. It
Oh
just
yeah,
kind of rode under the radar. Now you can
yeah.
just
I
go
mean,
watch it on.
it was really one
I
of
think
those
it's on
films that
Hulu.
it was it was one of those films that you really had to be in the know on,
Yes.
because I don't think it was really advertised that much. I mean, it
No.
just didn't have a really great uh, campaign behind the film.
And, but yeah, so these mercenaries, of course, they just lay waste to these
To
poor
everyone.
gypsies that just want their land back.
Mhm.
And they know it's coming. So the gypsy, I don't know the proper term, leader, crone, main grandma,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever you want to call them.
Tried to bite them.
Yeah, she does try to bite them.
Yep,
But
and
she,
they make a point to tell you that
yeah,
the old bitch tried to bite me.
yeah,
But it was some apparatus that she had too. That
yeah,
she was
yeah.
she
So
was yeah
prior, they kind of didn't foresaw or knew this was going to go
yeah
south, and so
very quick.
they let loose a curse. And what they do is they have this silver that they melt down, and they cast metal teeth and
Yes.
put those in an actual jaw. And I think it was just I don't know what kind of jaw it was. Now that I think about it, it might have been just a human jaw that they fastened it to. But the teeth are
Yeah.
they're all made out of silver, and they look
Yeah.
like a set of
And
animalistic fangs.
here's the thing. It was the most cursed silver on the planet.
Yes,
30 pieces of
100%.
silver given to Judas Iscariot.
Yes,
It was that silver.
yes, the money he was paid to sell out Jesus Christos. So that's it. That's such a cool concept to link it
It
up to
is.
something.
It is.
It doesn't matter your view on religion. That
Right.
we're not, nor is the movie laying claim to a certain belief system or any of that shit. It's
Right.
just a cool tool to use
Yeah.
because, to stretch the imagination, can you imagine something like that in existence in a world where things have that kind of power that,
Oh
hold
yeah.
power, whether good or bad,
Yeah.
evil,
Yeah.
you can only imagine that something as sacred or unsacred as, the silver that Judas was paid to
Right.
give up Jesus was,
I
that's
think
a hell of a token to hold on to cause
how
some
many
shit.
how many horror movies have brought the crucifixion of Christ into the storyline? I mean, we have this one, we have Dracula 2000, we have Demon Knight. What else do we have? I mean,
Outside of your stereotypical, like just for images or referring
right.
to religion, it's everywhere. But actually making a specific thing or event back to the current story and using
Right.
that to propel the story or make it part of it, physically or not, is somewhat unused. And
Yeah.
as it turns out, pretty cool tool to use.
Yeah.
Granted, Dracula 2000 could have been a better
Yeah.
movie, but
Yeah.
the idea that Dracula is Judas was
Yeah.
badass. Like that
Yeah.
was a great tool. It was a great idea to
Yes.
bring in
Yes.
a different sort of
And
mythos.
if you haven't seen Dracula 2000, forget that he said Dracula
Oh,
is Judas. Just
yeah,
forget that.
he's not.
Okay, don't you go into it, not knowing that Dracula is Judas. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's a great concept.
It was not a
and
spoiler.
I thought
I threw him
I
for a
thought
loop.
I thought Gerard Butler was great as
Yeah,
Dracula, and we had Christopher Plummer
unrecognizable.
in that movie too. Yeah,
Honestly, yeah.
And-
Unrecognizable
So,
back then,
anyway,
being so young.
back to the curse.
Yes, back to the cursed.
We love horror movies too much.
We do. Way
but-
too much. So yeah, they cast a set of animal fangs
Thanks.
out of these silver pieces, and they put a curse to it, and then they carve a cross in
symbols.
each one of the teeth.
Yeah. So it's
And so
like
what the
some
gypsies do,
gypsy symbolism of
yeah,
some kind.
and they
So
use it to curse the land. And
curse
so
their
when the
dreams.
mercs, curse their dreams, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
And
God. Yeah.
more than just that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's another cool thing too. Typically when you're dealing with a curse of some sort, it's pretty straightforward. Like this thing is cursed, or these people are cursed, and therefore this specific thing is happening.
Right.
This, what they did with it, it's like this whole huge engulfing storyline that it's not just, giving people nightmares. It's not just killing people. It's we're doing so many different things with one simple curse that it makes it more believable and
Yes.
more
Yes.
reality
I agree.
based in my mind, as opposed to, okay, well, there's this cursed item and it made ghost pirates come back to take revenge. Like this is a thing.
Yeah.
This is what it does. So, and it's just about, now you have a story about pirate zombies killing people or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a
And the fact,
full
well,
on.
and the fact that they bring the Beast of Gévaudan into this with John McBride's character, the pathologist, having investigated the Beast of Gévaudan, and he's hunting down these gypsies. So the gypsies put a curse on Gévaudan. Also, that's the way I
That
took it.
seems that's what I took it as, and I think that's what the movie is trying to play off to everybody,
Mhm.
that this is
Yeah.
something
This
that they do when they don't
when they
stop
encounter
taking their land.
assholes.
Yeah. It's a really
Murderous
cool,
assholes.
yeah, it's a cool dichotomy though. Well, you get a set of people coming in and,
Yeah.
well, there's nobody here, so we're just gonna lay claim and get rich off the land and tax other
Mhm.
people to come live in the area and all this fun shit.
Yeah.
So but then you've got the gypsies being like, okay, well, here's a nightmare scarecrow werewolf tree thing curse.
Yes. Yes. It comes
So who's the bad guy?
it comes directly
Who's
out of the
worse?
ground. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like these vines and it's just
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
so bizarre. It's
We'll
so
get into
weird.
that. It is weird and unique.
I like it.
So, they cast the teeth. They kill the mercs, kill the crone, and then they kill her son, husband, right-hand guy.
Yeah.
And what they do to him is just,
it's just
damn, it's
just
brutal.
yes,
And
it
it's not
is.
because it's super gory or
Right.
anything. It's just
It's
what
just
they
what they
do to
Yeah.
him. So they crucify him. Here we are again.
Yeah.
Back to religion. They nail him to a man-made cross, and then they chop off his hands and feet, and they stuff straw into all of his extremities and heave him up there. So he's probably
They put like a burlap sack over his head, so
burlap
they make a
sack over his head.
scarecrow out of him. But
they make a
they crucify him.
literal scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a crucified scarecrow. So it's
Yeah.
horrendous, man. Oh,
Yeah.
unique in itself. That's just something I've personally not seen before.
And see that's the thing that you don't need a lot of blood. I mean, there's some blood in that scene, but it's just what they do is so horrible and so grotesque that it turns your stomach.
It does. It turns your stomach. And I couldn't get the scenes out of my head when, because the crone, they bury her alive.
Yeah.
And another really cool stylistic shot choice is the camera's just focused on her in this dug grave. And they're just tossing dirt on her, and her performance and the way everything's happening, and she's doing weird chants or prayers in the midst of all this happening, and it's just smacking her in the face, and it's a very striking image, and it's also brutal.
Yeah, and
in
they
itself,
hold on that for a
heartbreaking.
long time
Even
too.
they
So,
hold on for a really long time. She's straight up just getting eyefuls and mouthfuls of this shit.
but I mean,
But an extremely well acted scene on that lady's part, because
God,
that's
yeah,
something that's stuck with me
yeah,
throughout the whole rest
yeah.
of the movie. It's like I had that between her and the Scarecrow was in the back of my mind.
Well, there's a lot of unnerving scenes in this film, but
Yes.
when the dreams start happening, and I'm just going to call her the crone when she's
Yeah.
standing at the edge of the field, and
Ugh.
the kid is like, having the dream first, and he looks back and sees her, and then all of a sudden she's coming right at him. And this is always creepy, and it's always freaked me out in movies when they do this. Like she's hovering off the ground, and they show her feet. It's like that just
And
is unnerving to me.
it's a slight hover too, so it's not like
Yeah,
they're up in the air,
right?
like a superhero would.
Yeah,
It's got this dangle to their
yeah,
feet, and
like
it's
like
just
they're
slowly,
barely touching the
yeah.
ground. It's always freaked me out because it's that image has been in several movies, and every
Yeah.
time they do it, it's something really easy to do, but it has
Yeah.
such an impact, just visual
And
impact.
it's not like she wasn't kind of scary when she
Yeah,
was alive.
they made her up. She's a little blue.
Yep.
Her pallor is a little blue. She's
Yeah.
creepy.
Super creepy. That and the
Yeah.
Scarecrow. Ugh. Ugh.
Yes.
Uh,
The Scarecrow has like this whole the I don't know if you picked up on this, but I did. The whole ambiance of the Scarecrow is kind of Slender Man.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
very, it's very, the arms are overly long and so are the legs. And
Yeah.
part of that is, you know, because of how they did what they did to him. But
Yeah.
it
But
creates this creepy, incredibly tall, lanky
yeah, and you don't
creature
really think of it as being tall until the pathologist starts
as
having the
his
nightmare,
dream. Yeah.
and then he looks back and he sees his wife and daughter who
Yeah.
died at Gévaudan. Shows them, and then he
Yes.
looks away for a second, and he looks back, and this thing is standing behind him, and it's like 10
Yes.
feet tall. I mean, it's
And it
fucking
just kind
huge
of puts its arms on either
on
side
both
of
of them.
them.
And
Creepy
walks them
image.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's really hard to creep me out in a dream sequence because, and then this is just personal opinion, dream sequences are horrendously overused, and more often than not, like a dream
they're not used
sequence
well.
is, yeah, they're not used well, and it's become a joke of itself because we're not trying to induce a dream anymore. We're just flashing
Right.
weird shit on the screen. And that's what I really like about The Curse, although it does have some quick cut moments, but it feels more dislodged. It,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me, when I'm having a dream, that's literally what remind me of, because you're still in somewhere. You're still, like, dreams aren't just like random images fucking
Right.
flying at you while you're sleeping. That's not what a dream is. And so the way they do it in The Curse is, maybe that's why it's so creepy, because it feels like an actual dream, and these
Yeah.
images are sticking in your head much like they probably would waking up from that
Yes.
dream.
Yes. And each time there's a dream in the film, it's a dream.
Yeah.
It beckons you into that scene, and
Yeah. There's
it's masterfully done.
yeah, it's done really well, and it's calling people to that scene, or to the area where
Right.
the Scarecrow is, where the crone is, and where the teeth are
Yeah.
buried
Yeah.
along with that, and which, of course, we don't find out until later on that collectively everybody is having some type of dream. They're not the same dream, but they involve all of the same things, and it's what has been driving and what drives the kids there in real time, in real life, because they all are dreaming about it.
Yeah,
and
that's what the one kid says. It's like,
I know you
come
all
with me.
saw it too.
And he's like, you all have had who has had the dream? All of these kids raise their hand. So, and then what's he do? He's drawn to the ground right in front of this scarecrow.
Yeah.
And he's digging, and what's he find?
Finds the teeth. Yeah.
Finds the teeth.
And it's really neat and unique how the teeth themselves and everything have a pull, a presence.
Yes.
Because it's not just the fact that they know where it is. It's they've been pulled to that area. And not only that, once he uncovers the teeth, he is then kind of overtaken by their presence and puts them in his mouth.
Puts them in.
Kind of like dentures.
Yes.
And then
you stop. You stop and think about it. It's like, well, they said that the crone had these teeth in, so it's like, well, that bitch had them in, so this kid puts them in too, and they've been buried. So it was like, what the fuck? Oh, so it's just double nasty.
It is double nasty, but he's just propelled to, put the teeth in, and then he attacks one of the other kids, which happens to be the son of Seamus.
Kelly Reilly
is his name.
Seamus,
and Kelly Reilly's character, the main family of the movie, attacks him and bites him, shoulder, kind of neck area. And of course, all the kids take off.
Yeah, they're out of there. So is the kid that did the biting.
Yeah, he takes off, and we come to find out he doesn't even remember, because he was just kind of overtaken by the whole thing. And
we'll get back to him in a minute.
We'll get back to him in a moment. The boy that is bitten, attacked, is brought home, and the kids are hush hush about it because they don't want anybody finding out where they were or how they knew what happened, any of that stuff.
Because that field was off limits.
Yeah, completely off limits.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he disappears.
Yeah, because he is bitten by these teeth.
By the silver teeth.
He's
therefore
he's infected.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, they throw you off here because this is not your traditional werewolf story. And going into it blind, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. Because he gets examined by the doctor, and he's out there at night, and he starts being taken over and intertwined by branches and roots. And it's like, what is going on?
But his sister sees that in the middle of the night, and she goes into her parents' bedrooms. So they come out to look, and he's gone.
Yep. Window open. He's pieced out.
Yeah. And because he's a werewolf now. Yeah.
He's a weird druid gypsy werewolf.
Yeah.
Thing.
Hybrid thing that I watched this like a couple weeks ago again, preparing for this deep dive, and I'm I like the concept of the werewolf more than I did when I first saw it. It kind of grows on you, like when you know what it is.
Yeah,
it grows on you.
Well, I think there's always that initial shock, and it has a somewhat negative effect.
Because
it's just like you say the word werewolf, you're expecting at least hair.
Yeah. You're expecting this guy right here.
Yeah.
Or this guy right here. Yeah, there you go. You're expecting you're expecting furry werewolf. And
Yeah, you're expecting either a demon dog from hell or a 7 foot tall bipedal
yeah, yeah,
man wolf thing, or more wolf
and
man, whatever.
yeah, and what you get in this is you get something that's kind of it's kind of a hybrid between uh, the nightmare wolf zombie, the bald guy, the bald one from American Werewolf in London, kind of a cross between that Ginger Snaps werewolf and American Werewolf. It's kind
Yeah.
of a hybrid,
Yeah.
kind of crazy looking
Very
thing.
the term like hellhound comes to
Yeah,
mind because it's a
yeah,
strange wolf-like bald
demon fucking thing.
demon
It's a
creature.
it's a werewolf like demon crazy fucking creature.
Yeah. And I mean, there's no even the director is that this is a werewolf tale. It's just not your stereotypical one.
Right.
So yeah, boy takes off, which of course we find out that he is transformed, if you will,
Yeah.
into this creature and attacks the boy that bit him originally.
Yes,
So,
and this attack is the first behind the scenes photo that I received from this movie was from this scene where he's standing there, the actor is standing there, and he's got the appliance hand because he damn near takes his hand off completely. I mean,
I really
it's
like
so freaking
the
gross.
choice they made, and it's
Yeah.
gross, but they didn't just come along and lob a hand off or an arm off,
Right. But
or they didn't just do a scratch or something. Like, it's, you literally believe that this creature came out of nowhere and swiped him as he went by, and it's just, whatever it caught just ripped it to fucking shreds.
Yeah. And the thing is that this whole scene, it's, the kid is standing there and you see this field grass moving.
Like Jurassic Park.
Yes, like the Velociraptors. That was the second Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
And so you see this grass moving, and you can hear this thing coming, but you don't see it, but you can see where it is, but and then you get the shot of him, and you hear the beast go by him, and he's like in shock, and this blood splatters on his face.
Yep.
That's all you need to see, really.
But
then it cuts to his point of view as he's looking down at his hand, and it's like his arm, and it's like from here down, it's just hanging, it's just dangling there.
It's just mincemeat.
It's so visceral.
Looks like a shark attack bite.
It does.
Like it grabbed on and ripped off, and there's just skin and bone and shit.
It happens so fast that it shocks you.
Yeah, and honestly, I watching it, you believe that kid is shocked. Just the way he reacts to it, the way they shot it. That, I don't think people take the time to notice stuff like that enough until you see it, and you're like, "Fuck, man!" Like,
and
that looked and felt so real.
Yes,
that there's so much movie magic that goes into that, and it's not just
and we a lot of times less is more, and this movie really plays that less is more.
They do, they do they give you the old Jaws.
Yes, they turn the amp up to 11, and see this type of movie is what you get when you have no studio interference.
Yes, exactly.
Because Sean Ellis was left to his own devices, and he knew what he wanted to make, and he told the story how he wanted to tell it, and I think it's great.
Yeah, you hand this off to a big studio and have them involved and hand their hands in it would have been just a shit show.
Right.
It would have been
And
awful. Kid gets attacked, obviously killed. Which now at this point, since they have 2 missing children, they've contacted the constable. I'm not sure, again, the proper
the
term.
constable.
Yeah. And so he comes, but it just so happens that our hero of
Pathologist.
our pathologist
Yeah.
of the movie, the Boyd Holbrook plays, is in search of gypsies, and he's trying to follow the curse of the Beast of Gévaudan, which later down the line he tells the story of what went down with that. But because he knows the constable lets him know what's coming out and says, hey, there was a word of gypsies coming through there, so this might be, something you're looking for. So, which is kind of a cool way to indirectly involve the main character into the story. So he shows up with the constable for them to, check out the dead boy's body. The constable is basically like, well, we got 2 missing kids. We found one dead. Pretty much know what happened to the other one. Hope it's not true, but let me know. And pieces out, because that's how it worked. The rest of the world is going through a plague.
Yes.
So, John decides that he wants to stick around, and because he has a feeling he might know what's going on in the town. So he decides to stick around town. They allow him, the family of the missing boy, allow him to stay with them. And from there on, we're just kind of propelled into the rest of the story. It's a bit of a cat and mouse. It's a bit of a who is it, who done it, what's going on.
Yes. And, people are, the servants still have to work outside, but, they do it in groups, and which is still dumb,
Still awful.
When this and it's not a transformation or anything by the light of the moon or anything like that, or at nighttime. No, once this kid transforms, that's
he's
his
there.
state.
That's it. Yep. We go through a couple more attacks, which, man, to me, each one is visceral and brutal.
Yeah.
Every single time we have an attack, it's shot and done so well with just the right amount of gore. It's never a bloodbath, It's just, there's so many things in this movie. The music is incredible, the score of it. Also, one thing that really stuck out to me when I watched it for the first time was the lighting, because there's no electricity. We're doing candlelight and things like that back then. But towards the end of the film, that the lighting ends up kind of being a character of its own, and yet another, protagonist or antagonist that the characters in the story are having to work with.
It's a beautiful film to watch.
It is.
Every shot in this film is as masterful as Kurosawa, any of his films.
Honestly, and I don't think that gets brought up enough, but what you're talking about here, in every single scene is it's an artistic landscape.
Right.
It's like the whole time you're living in a Gothic horror painting is what it feels like.
Yes.
There's always this wonderfully beautiful but uneasy, fearful, dark atmosphere with fog rolling in, or the way that characters are lit in every scene. It's just
Yeah, it's incredible. It's
It really
and
is.
and also another movie that comes to mind that is just as beautiful is a Brad Pitt film, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Such a good movie. I actually
It
really love that
is.
movie.
So do I. And I we're probably among the few who like that movie because it's based on fact.
Yeah.
It's not, the liberties weren't taken with that movie.
No. And
So
it's like fucking 4 hours long or some shit. I think
yeah,
it's super
it's really
long.
long, and
Um,
I
and
love it.
it's very dramatic
But
and character based, but
yeah,
that's why I love that movie so much. In The Cursed, uh, what we come to find out is obviously after every attack, if somebody survives the attack, they in turn are turned into our
yeah, like
werewolf-esque
yeah, like
creature.
yeah, like the
And
maid.
yeah, the second girl, the one that was working out in the fields, there was three of
Yeah.
them, and she survives the attack and runs back into town. They go to find her, and she's run off. That's the
Hmm.
one where we actually kind of full on see what happens, and she ends up running through the woods and going to the water, and we watch these roots kind of envelop her and
Yeah,
encase her,
and like a
and then
cocoon.
like a cocoon, which is really interesting. So like that, obviously the idea of not to whether or not werewolves can exist, but the actual possibility of the human body scientifically going through a change like that is just like, it's not going to happen. Like, it's
Right. Right.
impossible. In order
Yeah.
for uh any living thing to go through such a drastic transformation, you would have to have like a pupa stage, almost just like
Hmm.
butterflies and caterpillars and stuff, much like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So it I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it makes extremely realistic scientific
Right.
idea and choice to do that, because if werewolves were to be a thing, scientifically, you would have to be the human body would have to be encased in something and slowly over time morph into another creature, essentially. So
Yeah.
I was always really entertained that they made that choice in the movie, and how afterwards it's like, huh, obviously they don't stay encased for a certain period of time and come out per se. They get encased and they become another creature, and the
Hmm.
child is kind of locked within that creature.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
yeah, and we see what happens to her after she is basically shot and killed.
yep. So
But
yeah,
but but the thing is, she's not. I mean,
yeah, she's
she
not.
they do this autopsy,
Yep.
and she crawls out of the middle of the autopsy,
Oh
and
man,
it's just
it's
it's
this
so
scene. Or let's just
it's
talk about it because it's so fucking good, and
yeah,
we're accidentally kind of actually chronologically following the movie pretty closely here.
yeah.
uh, so John sets up to try to hunt the beast, and he successfully captures it and borderline kills it, basically. But he brings it back to prove and show the rest of the elders what's going on.
Hmm.
And so he takes the beast, and this is shortly after actually seeing the beast for the first time, and even then you don't get the full scope, I don't think,
Right.
even if while he's cutting it up. So he cuts open the beast, and inside of the beast is this encasing grotesque thing, and inside that casing is the child, or whoever
Yeah.
would have turned
The
into,
woman.
is the woman's in there. And it happens to be the kid of one of the other elders, which is
Mhm.
just horrendous. And then this intensely grotesque, terrifying body horror sequence straight out of The Thing. The child comes up out of it and is just like screaming, but at the same time so has like these strange binds. And I think John even has a line that says they never come back right. There's something wrong with them. And so
Yeah.
the father has to shoot his child. God, that scene's so heavy. It's so intense.
Yeah.
So much in that scene. It explains so much of the story. It is incredibly heartbreaking. Beautiful prosthetics and makeup work. That scene is so intense and so perfect. Like it's like the blood test scene from The Thing.
From The Thing. Yeah.
It's very intense and it's kind of quiet until shit goes south. But only this one likes to make you tear up a little bit because this poor gentleman had to shoot his daughter, after she crawled out of a naked werewolf belly.
Yeah. I wonder if, the werewolves in this film are like, a day old or whatever. I wonder if they were to grow more, would they grow hair?
Would they grow
They
hair?
might.
Yeah.
They might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah. I bet they would, because they're infants.
They're infants. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to think about. Okay, I didn't want a sequel. Now I do. They do a nice job. We'll get to that in a minute. They do a nice job of wrapping up the story. But yeah, so you're kind of now filled in of what the creature is and what this curse is and what to do about it. And long story short, they need to figure out where the silver's hiding because they don't know where it got put. But the daughter does, because the kid that dug him up told her he hit him on sacred ground. So he hit him at the church, which is also interesting and fun choice there with religion. Right. And now we've got this unholy relic basically stashed on holy ground. And also the kid has a specific Bible verse that he tears out of a page and has with him that helps John kind of understand.
Is it Ezekiel 22? I don't remember.
Yeah, without looking up, I don't remember verbatim what it was.
Anyway.
But essentially, because people are disappearing and dying and all this crazy ass shit, they're like,
people are fucking dying.
People are fucking dying. They're like, all right, everybody go to the church because, why not?
Yeah.
Because in this time period, it's not like they had a fucking mall to go to or something.
Yeah.
So they figure the safest thing to do is hold everybody up at the church. In the meantime, Seamus, the father, the head of everything, he gets pissy with John because his wife tells John what's going on as far as what happened to the gypsies and the mercenaries.
Too much information.
Yeah, too much information. So no. Yeah. So he tries to send John away, but he's like, nope, I'm gonna stick this out because I have to avenge my wife and child. Because we come to find out that he was in Gévaudan when this all went down with the Beast of Gévaudan, and his wife and daughter were slaughtered. And so that's why he's been kind of on the hunt for gypsies, if you will. So, but yeah, so we kind of culminate into one of the last attacks is one of the maids at the house getting attacked while hanging up laundry. So that's neat. So before, you only had to worry about Michael Myers hiding behind bed sheets in the wind. Now you got to worry about werewolves.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
so she gets
Yep.
attacked, survives, doesn't tell anybody, and
Yeah.
then is, physically ill. So she's sent away to rest up. And of course, that gives her time to become yet another infant wolf creature, if you will.
Yeah.
And so John finds the remnants of the attack and is asking where the maid is, and at the same time is trying to set up a watch out to try to hunt for the beast at the house too, which is real quick. That's really cool and unique that they spent the time to make you understand what he was doing there when he
Mhm.
paced it out and then set torches and he
Yes.
knew how far he had to shoot with
Right.
his gun. They would be like, no, I'd rather
Yeah.
see a car tire punch somebody in the face, Michael Bay style.
Oh, I was thinking of
Transformers.
the movie Rubber, but
No, that's way cooler. That just explodes humans.
yeah, yeah.
No, there's
But
a
yeah, so
fucking
yeah, they
scene in Transformers. It's in slow motion, and literally the tire, just the tire, hits a dude in the face, and he's like, and spit goes. But it's more like he's being punched by God, Michael Bay. Anyway,
well, Tarantino did it better in Death
yeah,
Proof
and Death
with the
Proof.
tire.
Because that's what really happens when a human being gets hit by a fucking car. Okay, they're fucking dismantled, destroyed, dead.
Yeah,
Not
dead.
taking a right hook from a fucking boxer.
Face is pretty much polished off
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
by
Oh,
the
God.
rubber
I
of
love
the
that scene in
tire.
Death Proof. It's so
Oh
intense.
my-
Anyway,
yes, it is.
check out our Tubi quick review of Death Proof, and then go check out
Yes,
Death Proof if you haven't seen it.
yes,
Fucking A.
yes, yes,
So yeah,
yes.
so Seamus goes to check on the maid because he hears a noise. And of
Yeah.
course, at this point, she's been transformed.
Yeah,
Attacks
she's
him.
been cocooned.
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 Attacks him. Takes off. Fire starts because he knocks over candles. And now Seamus is attacked. And he goes running outside. Takes himself to the barn, essentially. John
Yeah,
tries to follow him out there, but Seamus knows what happens now that he's been infected. So, dude straight up sets himself on fire.
yeah.
The
And he's
ugh.
screaming. He's screaming because
What
he
again?
he feels like
That's just brutal.
yeah.
Like in a scene, I mean, how many times have you seen somebody get set aflame in a movie?
Oh
Millions of
yeah,
times, and
yeah,
billions
yeah,
of scenarios, and
yeah.
billions of different genres. But there's something about the way this is shot, the way that it's done, his screams and pains, why the character does it in the first place, because we're dealing with a shitty human being, more or less.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's
yeah.
also dealing with the choices he makes and what's
Right.
best case scenario out of this, because he's lost his son, he's lost his land, basically. Everything's just
Yeah.
coming to an end, and he'll be damned, if his last work on earth is becoming a creature and potentially killing the rest of his family off. So he does
Yeah.
a
I mean, it's
somewhat
pretty fucked up.
selfish choice,
Yeah.
but also at the same time it's slightly redeeming to sets himself on fire. Rough.
Yeah.
You feel it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, and
feel
it's another one of those long takes. I mean, he
Yeah.
just does it, and the camera doesn't
Yeah.
shy away from it,
Yeah.
and the camera just stays locked.
That movie
On.
is so uncomfortable at
It
times,
is. It is.
but you don't ever want to look away.
It's just enough. It takes you right to the peak.
Yep.
And let you stay there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect. So
It is perfect. Yeah. So now everything's on fire, including Seamus. So
Yep.
John's like, shit, I gotta get the wife and those kiddos to safety, or kid,
Yeah.
I guess, because it's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
wife and the
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah. At this
So,
point.
and
Yeah.
this sequence is really intense too. I don't get unnerved by like the dark in movies, like dimly lit and
Right. Right.
that, but they use it so well in this that it's very claustrophobic and terrifying, even though they're out in the open just running through the woods. It's so claustrophobic and enclosing and terrifying because for sure they're being tracked by one, possibly more
Yeah.
creatures.
Yeah.
You can't see a fucking thing. Like, that
Right.
really is edge of your seat type
Oh
shit
yeah.
for me. Like,
Yeah.
again, every sequence in this film is so well put together and well thought out and well
Yes.
crafted
Yeah.
that anybody out there should be using The Curse to rank other movies by, because this is, to me, like modern day horror perfection.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you're a new up and coming filmmaker,
Yeah. Take some
look
fucking notes.
take some notes, look at The Curse and apply it to your craft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 Listen to what Randy said. I'm saying
Yeah.
a bunch of things, but I don't actually fucking know anything. I just watched too many movies. Randy, on the other hand, they eventually make it to the church.
The church.
And I think this was the first time where I was in awe of the creature, because the whole movie, you're not getting a full-on shot. You're catching pieces of it here and there,
Right.
and they do that really well, and they shoot it really well, and it's terrifying. But so they're all locked up in the church. Everybody is trying to sleep because they're trying to make it till morning. They're hoping the cavalry's going to show up because they sent for that.
Yeah.
But who knows how long it's going to take them to get there. And, well, we've got, 2 werewolves now? He killed one of them. So we've got 2 massive killing machines wanting to get into a building. They're going to find a way. They don't give a 2 shits that it's a church.
Right.
But at this point, John has silver bullets on him. Earlier in the film, when they figured out where the teeth were, he had the teeth remelted back down into silver bullets, which is fucking great, brilliant way to like make a werewolf mythos come full circle. The fact that we're still connecting dots and making folklore interweave and connect in this movie is still mind-blowing to me. At this point, the creature kind of plays a trick on the mother and is using her son's voice to call to her, to beckon her as the beast. And after all the shit she's been through, she decides to open up the door, hoping that it's him. But also in this weird, she just woke up, and you have to wonder if there's again some form of beckoning power that these have, because the teeth and the dreams were that way. But she opens the door, and of course John's like, "That's a fucking horrible idea." So she flings the doors open, and it's the first time you really get a full shot of the beast, and it's pretty terrifying and pretty badass to look at, because the doors open up and everything's it's all dark, very dimly lit, and it comes into into view, and you see it in its full glory, and you're like, holy shit. And as you're as you're there thinking about it, that it's almost like they have put you in the same mindset of the rest of the characters, because none of these characters have seen it full on
Yeah.
or anything. And so they were able to make the viewer, they put them right in there
Right.
with everybody else, seeing this creature for the very first time. And it's just a beautiful shot, and it looks computer generated, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It's done really well, especially in a movie that uses prosthetics and real makeup effects heavily. And then, Randy, as you said, all fucking hell breaks loose.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
and it's pretty fucking cool.
Oh god, it's so cool. I think, I don't know about you, but with anytime I'm watching a werewolf movie, I want like one sequence of pure carnage. I want to see this werewolf going full tilt, fucking shit up.
Oh yeah. Like the end of American Werewolf. You know? It's like,
where we're just tearing through Piccadilly Circus. You want to see them bring the chaos. That you know what they're capable of. You kind of want to see the full-fledged carnage that it can actually unleash.
I remember, first time I saw it, that door opens, we see the beast, and I'm like, we're going there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, okay, is that door going to get shut in time? No, it's going to be full on chaos inside the church. I mean, and that's the takeaway that you take that scene away at the end of the film. It's like, wow, it fucking went there,
Yeah.
And there's and then reflecting back on the film is like, there's so many times in this film where Sean Ellis went there, and it's like, wow, my hat's off to the guy. I mean, anytime you can make the film that you want to make, and we don't have studio interference. Alien 3, my hat's off to whoever did that.
It's a really a true testament to what can happen when you let a filmmaker breathe, when you let their passion, their love, their story, what they want to tell, when you let them bring it to life, when you let the crew, the actors, when you let them do the work that they're supposed to be doing. Yes, it's a job, but this is a lifestyle for people. If you're making films, it's because you fucking love film. And when studio interference happens and removes your vision completely, because it's incredibly easy to do tonally, the minute you start switching up scenes or reasons things are happening or characters or music, the tone is getting completely thrown off. Not all of your dots are connecting at that point because
and then the film, it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's not the director's fault. It's the fucking studio.
Exactly. And it's I always think about something that you said about the story and scripts. Yes, you have to write them, but they start to write themselves a little bit at some point because the story is important. The story is becoming a being of its own. And if you're not letting that happen, then, and there's no way you get a movie, a Hollywood film that's had 15 different writers working on it, that you're just throwing shit into a pan and melting it and hoping.
One of the most magical things that you'll experience on a film set is when the film starts dictating where it's going to go. or not so much where it's going to go, because the script dictates that, but how it's visually how it's going to get there. And that's one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen on set. And I've worked on some films that the director knew where it was going to go, but it was going in a different direction than the cast and crew knew where it was going to end up. and that that dichotomy is kind of hard to to deal with, because I've been on films where the actors and the crew knew this is going to be shit, and the director's like, no, this is going to be it's not Ed Wood syndrome, it's not,
Right.
but it is in a way, but when your talent knows the director's vision, he's not film's not going to be, it's not going to be his vision. I mean, so yeah, and it's kind of sad, but
It is.
but
It is.
even those films, I wouldn't take I wouldn't take I wouldn't take them back. Those times on set, I love being on set.
Yeah.
It's where my passion is. It's where my passion lies. Writing. As a screenwriter, I love writing. As a director, I love directing. As an actor, I love acting. Makeup artist, I love doing every aspect of film, and whatever I'm doing on a film, I'm there in the thick of the fight, and in that battle, and I love it. It's something that you're either born with or you're not, because I've seen people walk onto a set and be like, oh, this is the most boring thing I've ever done in my whole life, and they never come back. To me, it's not boring. To me, it's living life to its fullest. So
Absolutely.
anyway, okay, back to the cursed again.
Yeah, back to the cursed. But this is why we do this. I love being able to go on off these little tangents, because it's interactive for us. It's interactive for the viewers. It's a little bonus that we get to throw in and we get to do when we do this stuff. So, but yeah, back to the curse. So, all of the shit has hit all of the fans inside the church.
Yeah. There's 4 silver bullets altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the first one misses, you're looking at least 30 seconds, if you're really good, to reload, and a lot can happen with a werewolf in 30 seconds. I mean, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, even if it was a midget werewolf, a lot can happen in 30 seconds with any form of werebeast is bad news. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what we're faced with, and the heartbreaking part to all this, is the mother finally just gets up amongst the carnage and just screams, "Stop!" And it catches the attention of the beast. Whether it caught its attention because, like, what? Or where there's still, her child is still in there. So maybe there was enough there that he noticed it. But at that point, everything just stops, and it's like literally being on a ride. Everything is going so intense and so crazy, and that happens, and you literally almost feel the physical stop, the screeching halt, and the anticipation of what the fuck is going to happen. And the mother stays there in front of the beast as John, because he's reloading at this point. I think he fired
I believe he did
when it initially came in. and so he had to reload. And while he's reloading, that's when all this carnage is happening. And there's just a quiet standoff between mother and son, and it goes to attack her, and it does attack her, starts ripping into her, and she basically, without speaking to John, lets him know that it's okay. And so John fires because he figures the only way he can actually hit the beast is shooting through her. So he has to fire the bullet, shoots her, goes through her, lands in the beast. And of course, they both fall. Mom is on the floor dying. She started to get bit into by a werewolf and also has a gunshot wound. So bad news for her.
Yeah.
And because we use the silver to reverse the curse, basically, that's what's kind of happening here. The only thing that could take away the curse or put a stop to it is using what started it in a different fashion, for better wording. I know I explained that super poorly. Whatever. The child is back to being the child. The beast is gone. It is released, and the boy is there. Unfortunately, with no recollection of what's happening, and this poor child is waking up next to his mother dying, and dies.
And he has a silver bullet inside of him.
Yes, and he has a silver bullet inside of him. Mother dies in his arms. Quick recap. Life goes back to normal as it can. John adopts the two children, and they go to live long, fulfillful lives. But we make a complete 360 here, because the very beginning of the movie is a sequence from World War
One.
World War One.
Yeah.
And
Nazis are dropping tear gas.
Yeah, Nazis are dropping tear gas, and a soldier is brought in, and well, he's some sort of rank, because I believe he's kind of commanding some troops there.
He's higher up there.
But he gets shot multiple times, and they bring him in to operate on him. Well, field operate. So we're just taking
and
Bigfoot's
as
tweezers and yanking shit out of people.
Yeah. And the doctor, he's pulling all these bullets out of him, and then he pulls out a silver bullet, and the soldier is, it's like a poem or something, a nursery rhyme or something that ends with 8 for silver.
Yep, that was the whole reason it was named 8 for silver, because they have almost a nursery rhyme they're kind of repeating through the movie a couple times.
Yeah. So but so where we started in the film, we end, at the end of the film. So, and the soldier, he succumbs to his wounds, and the curse has been over for years, so. But yeah, it's that's the end of the film, and it's a wild ride. And if you like Victorian type era, late 1800s films, werewolf films, horror movies, like The Wolfman would be one also. Then I think you'll like this one. If you haven't seen it, watch it. And if you have seen it and you didn't like it, maybe revisit it, after watching this review, watching this train wreck. Oh.
Yeah, it's our train wreck.
Yeah, it's our train wreck.
I was curious about
we wreck on purpose. But no, what were you saying?
What that nursery rhyme was.
Oh,
because
yes.
I'm curious what it is, and I'm going to assume our viewers are curious also.
I would assume that. So yeah, you had to stick to the end of the video to
Yeah,
find out what the
to
nursery
find
rhyme
out.
is.
That's right. I think this nursery rhyme was maybe based off one called One for Sorrow, but the lyrics are a little bit different. So in the movie, it goes 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for a wedding, 6 for a birth, 7 for a curse that's buried in the earth, 8 for silver, 9 for gold, 10 for a wolf, and you won't die old. So yeah, I think maybe it was made for the movie because it seems to pertain a lot to the movie. But yeah, nonetheless.
All right. There we have
So
it.
yeah, the movie wraps up in a nice little package with what happened with the soldier in the beginning, and we see John growing old, and the daughter, who's now his daughter now, telling him, it's okay to go, all this fun stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
The Cursed. Go watch it,
Yeah.
please. Such a great movie.
Watch it. Enjoy it.
Yes. And then, of course, when you're done doing that, or when
Come
you're done
back
watching
here.
this video, like, share,
Yeah.
subscribe.
Leave a comment.
You leave a comment. We want to know what you guys think of the movies. We want to know what you want us to cover. Thanks again for coming to one of Corn on the Cob's deep dives. This time it was for The Cursed. And we'll see you all very soon for our next video.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Love you.